Hello everyone and welcome to episode 64 of this Let's Play series of Star Trek Online. My name is Winters and you are very welcome. So in our last episode we had a very brief run through of the Undine Space Battle Zone, and we demonstrated how it's a pretty decent way of picking up Undine marks. And that was the last type of marks that we done a demonstration on how to get. So a few days have passed, about 3 or 4 days have passed since I recorded that last episode, and I kind of want to bring you up to speed on what has actually happened over the last few days. So the first thing is, you may notice that we are actually Admiral level 55 now, which means that we can actually get our promotion up to Admiral. We have that mission now yet to actually complete. Just like with our promotion to Vice Admiral, it's just go to Earth Space Dock, meet Admiral Quinn, and that's it. Some other things that I want to show you guys is, well, actually, what I'll say first is these couple of levels have been attained solely by doing the ground and space battle zones and just PvE queues and a few, DOF missions thrown in there as well over the last few days. And that has got me, whatever it is, 2 or 3 levels in that time. And what I'm going to show you now is my assets. And you may notice here that my energy credit level has actually jumped up quite a bit. We're just over 1.2 million EC. And again, the majority of that is from the battle zones and PvE queues, and simply emptying out my inventory and doing that at a 50% vendor, and I've built up a nice little stockpile of EC. The other thing is, then you can see the marks. The marks have jumped up here an awful lot for all the reputations, and I have about what is it, probably roughly around 7,000 marks there now altogether. And the goal that I'm aiming for all of these is actually what the Dyson marks is at now, 1,250. In order to bring any of the reputations from tier 0 to tier 5, which I'll open up here now. So if we look at this one, we're halfway to tier 2. So to go from tier 0 all the way up to tier 5, you need 1,225 marks. So I'm aiming for roughly around 1,250. The other thing that you may notice here now as well is that my dilithium has jumped up quite a bit. I have a little under 80,000 dilithium refined and a little over 63,000 unrefined, so that's a grand total of about 140,000 roughly. And that has again been coming from the ground and space battle zones, PvE queues, and doing these daily reputation missions. Now bear in mind, I am only doing these ones, the dailies, alright, so once every 20 hours. And you can see if I go down through all the reputations here, I have them running. Now the thing is, when you collect these projects, as in when they finish, in this case 13 hours and 50 minutes from now, I will get 340 dilithium. There is 9 reputations. That adds up to just over 3,000 dilithium simply from collecting all of those 9 reputations, and that has been helping me a lot. And as I've also said, the PvE queues and the ground battle zones have helped out enormously with that. So that's actually how I've been able to build up my dilithium so quickly. In the space of just a few days. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to dock at Earth Space Dock, and we will get our promotion out of the way. And after that, then I'm going to introduce you to a new system that opened up to us a few levels back. I won't say anything about it yet. We'll get this promotion done first. So off to Admiral Quinn's office. Actually, I suppose it would help if I have the mission. There we are, promotion to Admiral, accept. And we can clear this out. There we go. Mission complete. So now we are an Admiral. We actually only have 5 more levels to go and we will be max level. Okay, I'm quickly going to run to the bank. And actually I might empty out my inventory with the few little bits of junk that I've got in there and pick up a little bit more EC. %, vendor, okay, and I can sell that, I can sell that, that. These I'm going to hang on to, this stuff I can sell. There we go, everything else I am keeping. So now I can run to the bank, and the closest one is just here. And they can go in, and I think that's it. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, what I want to show you guys here are these different items here that I'm mousing over right now. You may have remembered from a few episodes back I mentioned elite marks. So, for example, if I do this, let's see. How do I explain this now? All right. Every one of these reputations, with the exception of Nukara Strike Force and New Romulus, has an elite type of mark. So these are the only 2 that do not have elite types of marks. All the rest have elite types of marks. So for example, these ancient power cells are part of the Delta Alliance reputation. The Borg neural processors, as you've probably guessed, is part of the Task Force Omega reputation. The chronoton buffers are part of the Temporal reputation. The Iconium probes are part of the Iconium resistance. Isomorphic injections are part of 8472 Counter Command. Terran gravimetric inducer is part of the Terran Task Force. Vought cybernetic implants is part of Dyson Joint Command. And that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, that adds up. So that's all 7 elite types of marks. Now, what are these used for? If there is any items or gear that you want to get from the reputations, it will have a cost of marks, dilithium, some energy credits, and elite types of marks. So, just for pig iron, if I click on Iconium resistance and I click on this slot here for a new project, I can scroll down and I can see now I have an Iconium resistance personal shield Mark 12. If I want to get that, it is going to cost me 40,000 energy credits, 9,000 dilithium, 5 Iconium probe data cores, and 500 marks. So 5 of these bad boys. And that's what these elite marks are used for. They are part of the cost for purchasing different items within the reputation. We can see here we have also unlocked a sustained radiant field Mark 12. This is a universal console. It's actually a very good one. It's one we'll be picking up later. I'm not going to do it now because my goal at the minute, and trust me, this is actually a good thing for you guys to do as well, anyone that's, doing this for the first time. Focus simply on getting from tier 0 to tier 5 and build up as many marks as possible. Alright, so I've already said you need 1225 marks to go from 0 to tier 5. If you need any additional marks after that for the purchasing of gear and items, wait until you're finished, until you actually are tier 5, because when you hit tier 5 you will get 750 marks for that particular reputation. So there's a big help for you straight away. And if you, well, I suppose if you can put the time in, you can do it whatever way you want, but the shortest way is build up your marks and get enough to completely finish out the reputations and then worry about purchasing gear. Because you get a big dilithium reward, which I'm pretty sure I've mentioned already. For each of the reputations, with the exception of Task Force Omega, you get 32,500 dilithium ore for every one of the reputations, with the exception of Task Force Omega. I think you get 9,500 or 9,000 from that one. So, yeah, that's elite marks, and that's what they're known as. And there's a different one for each of the reputations, with the exception of Nucara Strike Force and New Romulus. So we can close that down, and yeah, the next thing that I want to show you guys is a new system that opened up for us at level 52, and it is known or called the Admiralty System. Now if I click on the DOF or Duty Officer button here and I click on Admiralty, this is the Admiralty System. Now what this does is it allows you to send your ships out on missions. If I click on ship roster here, we can actually see every single ship that we have got so far, with the exception of one. So we started off in our light cruiser, and we went from there into our escort, and from there into our heavy escort, and then we got our tactical escort, and finally our patrol escort. And this is the ship that we're using now. And also we had the shuttle from when we were doing what was the name of the mission? The Vault. So yeah, every time you get a ship, it will go in here. And actually, I suppose I need to be a little bit more clear with this. It's not that the ship goes in here. Any ships that you have in your ship roster, okay, that can be seen down at the shipyard down there, a carbon copy is created, or an Admiralty card is created and put into this ship roster within the Admiralty system. So I'm going to open up my bank here for a very specific reason. If you remember the mission that we done, Temporal Ambassador, if you remember, we got this special requisition pack, Support Cruiser Ambassador class, but I didn't open it at the time, and this is why. You will see now when I double click on this, okay, I am going to get, it'll be down here, I will get the actual ship, which will appear in my ship roster that can be accessed down at the shipyard, and I will get a Admiralty card as well. Both of them will turn up here. So I'm going to double click on this now, and there we are. So this is the actual ship, and this is the Admiralty card. So I can click done on that, and we can see now the support cruiser is in here. There it is. It's given us the card copy of that particular ship. Right, so that's the ships. The next part that I want to explain to you guys is this part here. These are known as campaigns. So you have the United Federation of Planets campaign, the Klingon Empire campaign, and the Romulan Republic campaign. Currently, this will be expanded upon in the future. There will be more campaigns created and added in the future. So what you do is you can pick any one of these three missions here, and this shows then the next one that is due to come up. So like if I do this mission here, this one will then come up into the list of available ones, and this one then will move over here, and a new one will appear here. The pass button, yeah, okay, I'll quickly talk about that. As you complete Admiralty missions, there is a chance that you can get what's known as a pass token. If you look down here in the bottom left, it says pass tokens 0, and what that basically allows you to do is, let's pick this mission here, okay? I cannot do this mission for whatever reason. I don't have the ships for it or whatever. I can click pass, and it will disregard that mission, and this one will come up here instead, and this one will move across, and a new one will appear here. So yeah, you can pass on missions as you build up pass tokens. So that's pass tokens. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this one here, because I'm looking at the requirements 20, 10 and 10, and that should be a pretty easy one for me to fill, and you'll see why now in a minute. So I'm going to click plan, and we can see here we've got an event, plus 10 science requirement. We've also got plus 5 critical rating, and small energy credit package, which means we'll get some EC out of this if we succeed. What the plus 10 required means it's added a plus 10 onto what was already there, and you can see the red icon here representing that. There is events that can have a minus factor on it, so it could be for example minus 10 engineering, in which case this number would change to 10. So anyway, these slots here are for putting in ships that are available in your roster, and what you're basically trying to do is come up with this number 20, 10 and 20. So I'm going to open up my ship roster here, or click on select, and I'm going to see if any ships have 20, 10, 13. Right, so what I can do is I am actually going to pick this one. I'm going to put that in there, and you can see now that this one is highlighted sort of in yellow, and that basically means that we have met or exceeded the requirements. We can see here as well we've got 10, which obviously matches up with the 10 that's required there, so we have met or exceeded the requirements. However, this shows that we still have a deficit here because it's not highlighted in the orange or the yellow text. So what we're looking for now is a ship with 7 points or more, which would be this one, I suppose. Now, if you exceed the requirements, basically what you're doing is you're building up your critical chance. So first of all, if you meet the requirements, the top bar will fill up 100%. If you exceed the requirements, then your critical chance bar will fill up. And that's it. It's very similar to the DOF system, but you just have to think strategically and pick the ships that suit the mission best, and then you just click on begin assignment. And this mission, if I click on here in progress, we can see it's going to be done in 15 minutes. Now, once a day, every 20 hours actually, there is a bonus XP that you will get. So if I look at the result here, we can see we will get some experience, and we will also get some campaign XP for the United Federation of Planets, which happens to be 90. But once every 20 hours, there is a bonus XP that you can get, and that is represented by this little icon here. And you can see the tooltip says your first successful assignment per day awards additional campaign progress. So my pro tip to you guys is to do one mission in each of the 3 currently available campaigns every day. At least one every day, and that will maximize your progress. Now we can see here we are currently at level 0, and if we look up here, 0 and then 1800, meaning that we need 1800 XP to get up to this level, which would be level 1. And there are a grand total of 10 levels. Once you get to level 10, that's it. You've unlocked everything, and it just doesn't progress any further. But this system is absolutely fantastic for building up large quantities of skill and XP points, dilithium, and funnily enough, prisoners and colonists. And I'll show you later some really good things with those. Now, when I say later, I mean it'll be much later in the series. So I'm going to see if I can get a mission going now in each one of these. I have a feeling they're going to be hard because, yeah, all of my ships, most of them, are all tactically focused. So, what to do? Let's have a quick look at the Romulan. This looks like an easy one. And yes, there we go. With that single ship, we can get that one running. Okay, so now I don't care about assigning a ton of ships here. So I'm going to pick this one because this seems to be the easiest. And we will start assigning ships. Now, something else I should actually point out, now is probably a good time to do it. Depending on the class of ship that you use, when I say class, I mean tier level. actually is a better way to put it. So depending on the tier level of your ship, there is a cooldown time before you can use that ship again. And that cooldown time starts the moment the mission finishes. Whether it's succeeded or failed, it starts the moment the actual mission completes. So in this case with the light cruiser, we can see it has a 30-minute cooldown. So that means 30 minutes after this mission has finished, it will be available again. Likewise, for this heavy escort here, it has a 4-hour cooldown, and the patrol escort has a 12-hour cooldown. So that's something to bear in mind as well. And some other things that I suppose are worth noting is every ship will have some sort of an additional modifier. So, for example, if we look at our small craft here, which is the Type A shuttle, we can see it says +10 all stats per any ship, but not small craft. That means it will add +10 to all of the stats, both tactical, engineering, tactical, and science. It will add an additional 10. So actually, we'll test that right now. So we've got 28, 70, 22, and I click this, and it's added. Why is that different? Oh, it's because of some of these stats. Right. So you can see there, the small craft, it only had 4, but we've jumped up to 52. So that's actually not bad at all. We've got a really good chance of critting this one as well. So, like this one here, it has 2.5 critical rating from TAC. This one +10 engineering per engineering ship, meaning it will add an extra 10 onto engineering per engineering ship. And yeah, we can click begin. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is these missions here, tours of duty, and basically there are 10 tours of duty, as you can see, 1 of 10, and they are 20-hour missions, and the cost for each one of them is progresses up in the same way, no matter the campaign. So, for example, the first tour of duty, 1 of 10, is always 10, 10, and 10, minus any events that might affect those numbers. The second one, 2 of 10, will be 20, 20, 20. The third one will be 30, 30, 30, and so on in that way until you get up to 10 of 10, which will be 100, 100, 100. Now, when you do get up to 10 of 10, doesn't matter well, actually it does matter, but all 3 campaigns have tours of duty. That is where you will get a big payout. So, for example, we'll start off with Federation, and if you get to the, or when you get to the 10th tour of duty in the Federation campaign, it will reward you with 2 specialization points. Now, I haven't talked about specialization points yet, but I will in a couple of episodes. It's actually not that far away, but they are highly sought after. You need to be level 60 in order to gain them anyway. You can see in the tooltip there, must be level 60 to open. So just take my word for it, that's a very good payout. The Klingon Empire, if we look up here, will give you 30,000 dilithium ore when you complete all 10 steps, meaning all 10 tours of duty. 30,000 dilithium ore. That is a wonderful payout. That is absolutely fantastic. The Romulan campaign will give you 4 Romulan Republic Universal Tech upgrades. Again, now I actually haven't talked about tech upgrades yet because we're not really at the point where that applies. But trust me, the tech upgrades are good. Again, highly sought after. It's worth noting as well, you can see at any time what stage you are at within the tour of duty arc by looking up here. All you have to do is click on any of the campaigns and you can see here we're on 0 of 10. Obviously it's all the same. If we'll say tomorrow I will start this mission and it completes the following day, this will obviously be 1 of 10. So that is basically the Admiralty system. Apart from that, we can see there's some additional slots here, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Progress any 1 campaign to tier 3, progress any 2 campaigns to tier 3, progress any 1 campaign to tier 5, any 2 campaigns to tier 5, progress any 1 campaign to tier 10, and each of these slots will open up eventually, allowing you to do more and more Admiralty missions. Now, something I should point out is the more ships you have, this is very obvious, the easier you will find it to do or progress in the Admiralty system, especially with the cooldown times. I mean, if we look at this patrol escort, it's a tier 5 ship. It has a 12-hour cooldown. You know, so you cannot use that ship for another 12 hours after the mission is finished. But like anything in the game, you know, it sort of requires either time or money to be invested. Now, something I want to show you guys real quick is down here in the shipyard. And as I was saying there, the more ships you have, the easier it is to progress in that system. And for anyone that, you know, wants to remain as free to play, obviously if you can throw some money at the game and pick up some Zen, there is an absolute armada of ships that you could purchase in the Z store. And once you purchase them, then they will appear here in your roster. What I should point out actually is you can immediately, if you so choose, dismiss the ship from here, from your slots. You do not have to keep a ship active here for it to be able to be used in the Admiralty system. But anyway, that's not what I was going to show you down here. If we go to Starship and Shuttle requisitions, and you may remember from previous episodes, this is where we got our free ship every time we leveled up. Well, there is absolutely nothing stopping us from purchasing ships here. Now, not the Zen ones, alright, those ones are from the Z store, but in the case of this cruiser, we have never had this cruiser. We didn't pick that one. When we got promoted up to Lieutenant Commander, we went for this escort. We could have went with a cruiser, we could have went with a science vessel, but if I click on the cruiser here, or any of them actually for that matter, you can see we can actually purchase this ship with dilithium. It costs 10,000 dilithium more to purchase that ship, and we clearly have enough. And that ship will immediately go into our Admiralty system roster. So that's something worth keeping in mind. You can come down here and you can purchase some additional ships. Now, as the different tier ships, or as you go to different tier ships, like if I click on, excuse me, Captain, and I click on the Exploration Cruiser, we can see that that one costs 40,000 dilithium more compared to the other one, which was only 10,000. If I click on Vice Admiral, actually there may not be any. No, there isn't. Oh, I know their fleet. Wait. I seen something. Nope. Okay, so Rear Admiral. This is what I'm looking for. Right, so Rear Admiral, lower half. These are the highest price ships. And you can see again, you can purchase for dilithium. Current cost 80,000 dilithium. 80,000 for this one, 80,000 for this one. That one. We already have the patrol escort, deep space science vessel. So yeah, keep it in mind. You can purchase more ships here with dilithium, and you know that's not costing you real money. It's going to cost you time. You are going to have to farm or grind that dilithium, but if you are not willing to throw money down the game, keep that in mind. You can pick up some decent ships there. You can probably increase your roster to, I don't know what, 20 to 30 ships anyway, with just dilithium purchases. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there for this episode. If you have any questions on the Admiralty system or you don't understand anything, please leave a comment and I will do my best to get back to you. I hope that I have been thorough and given a good explanation of this system. Trust me, it is absolutely fantastic. I mean, look at the XP there. There's like over 3,000 XP there, over 1,000 there, over 1,500 there, and that's not even if we crit. And bear in mind, we will be gradually opening up more and more of these slots, and if you have more and more ships, you can level up so fast. And as you can see, like the Klingon campaign, 30,000 dilithium ore at the end of it. That's not including, for example, this one, which we can see is given 100 dilithium ore, and that's not even if we crit. That's only if we get a success, and we are guaranteed to get a success on each one of these missions because we met or exceeded the requirements for each of them. So anyway, I am definitely going leaving it there now for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. It is very, very much appreciated. My name is Winters. As always, like, comment and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. So until then, take care.